This is a video about rocks. That's it. Not this rock. Not this rock. Not this rock. Not a boulder, but a...
Rock! A rock! A rock! Oh, the pioneers used to ride these babies for miles.
And I'm sure there's some reference to that in here somewhere. Hey there everybody, it's your somewhat favorite weeblord Dacnomaniak here, and I'm taking a break from watching all the riveting and story-rich anime coming out this season. What the fuck am I doing with my life? To bring you another video in my Life of a Main series. And now, without further stalling for time, I give you the Life of a Taliyah main.
Okay, great. That is actually what I wanted to have happen. For once.
Now you're probably asking me, why would I want to main a champion who literally had the worst win rates in every lane when she was first released? Well, why don't you sit your little behind down and I'll tell you why. Alright, here I go. I'm rocking and rolling.
You can run from a landslide. I prefer to ride it.
So Taliyah's terrible win rates are the exact reason why I started playing her so much. I figured that I could be that one guy who took one of the worst champions in the game at the time and actually become really good with her. And that's exactly what I did.
What an interesting pattern.
So let's start with the basics. Taliyah's passive is rock surfing, and simply it just gives you 20 to 40% movement speed boost based on your level while out of combat, but you need to be moving next to a wall in order to keep it going. It's pretty good for getting back into lane after backing, or roaming into other lanes for ganks, but that's about it. Taliyah's Q is threaded volley. You throw 5 stones consecutively in a line in front of you, and you can move around while you cast it. But each hit after the first will deal 50% less damage. The somewhat downside to this ability is that it creates a small area of worked ground underneath where you cast it. Now worked ground will give you a slight movement speed boost, but your Q will only throw out 1 stone and have half the mana cost refunded. Now this is going to be your main source of damage. It deals a very small AoE where it hits, so it is possible to harass your lane opponent if they're standing pretty close to minions, and with the small movement speed boost you get while you stand on the work ground and the cooldown of your Q being super low, if you mix in a Rylai's Scepter with that and 40% CDR, it's pretty easy to constantly kite away from champions who are trying to get to you.
Alright. Infinite potential.
I was just gonna stop her back. I didn't even know that you were gonna ult.
Your W is Seismic Shove. You create a small rupture in the ground that knocks up enemies and pushes them away from you. But you can cast it a second time if you want to choose which direction they want to push the enemy. Now this is your only hard in-combat disengage, so if you miss this, you can pretty much consider yourself fucked. Taliyah's E is Unraveled Earth. She creates a small cone-like minefield in front of her for 4 seconds, and when the duration is up, they erupt and deal a small amount of damage. Also, any enemy that dashes through them is damaged for a certain amount, but they can only be damaged by up to 4 rocks at a time. Now you can combo this with your W to forcefully push enemies through the field to trigger the mines. And if you're quick, you can activate your W and then throw your E before it erupts to do a fancy combo that's pretty hard to dodge. As long as you can hit your W, that is. Also, people tend to forget that they explode when their duration is up.
Not all who wander are lost.
Ha. Got her.
Such colors.
Come at me, Jinzao. Come on. Come on, oh shit. And finally, you've got your ultimate Weaver's Wall. You create a massive wall that, if activated again, will let you ride it until it reaches the end. But any damage you take while riding it knocks you off. You can also choose to jump off mid-ride by clicking to either side of the wall. It's a pretty fun ultimate, but it really only has certain uses.
That was so clean. I feel good about that one.
You can use it while roaming to gank other lanes quicker, separate enemy teams during team fights. Here I come! And there I go! Oh yeah, let him know! Let him know! Pincer enemies into their doom, or wall off an entire enemy team in their fountain while you end the game.
Oh my god, that's so troll.
Now let's talk about ruins and masteries. For masteries, I take 12 ferocity and 18 cunning, focusing on a lot of ability damage and sustain, while taking Thunderlord's Decree as my keystone. As for ruins, I take scaling health glyphs, magic penetration marks, about a 50-50 of scaling cooldown reduction and scaling magic resistance on the seals, and about 15 AP in quints. I actually left quints out of my mastery page, so I earned about 100,000 mastery points on Taliyah and didn't realize that I had no quints in my page until I started making this video.
This really
That
feels
is
like
the
LCS.
slowest 3 main top push I've ever seen.
Have you watched LCS? They take towers at 3 minutes.
Lucian's dead. That guy's gonna be a problem.
Nah.
It's not my fault.
The first blood, woo!
First blood tower in 7 minutes.
And that's pretty much everything you need to know about Taliyah and why her upbeat attitude and giant eyebrows make her one of my favorite champions. Oh wait, yeah, and also this deer.